Are you looking to wake up your body? Say good morning to yourself as you stretch and prepare for the day? Well, today's class is just for you. Hey friends, it's Kait here. Thanks so much for joining me today, and I have a lovely good morning yoga class. This is a 15-minute easy routine for you to repeat if it feels so good. And this is something that I quite do very frequently. We don't need a whole lot of time to be kind to our bodies and to stretch. We'll start seated with a little neck and upper body work. We'll move into our hips, getting deeper into our spine, and finish standing, really ready to move on with our day. Go ahead, roll out your mat. Let's get started. We'll start in comfortable seated positions. Hands to our lap, shoulders down, ears high. Take a moment, maybe close the eyes, checking in with the body. Is it easy to sit up tall and straight today? Does it feel like one side's a little tighter? Is your inhale longer than your exhale? No right or wrong. Take a big breath here. As you exhale, dip the chin to chest. Eyes can stay closed or you might flutter them open. And we'll simply start with rolling one ear to one shoulder, back down, opposite ear to opposite shoulder, just a little half circle. Feel free to go faster or slower than me. Eventually bringing the chin back down to center. The gaze upright. Take a moment, stretch both hands up overhead. Wiggle the fingers, really reach up as high as you can. Allow the shoulders to climb up to the ears and set them down. Again, inhale, shoulders climb up to the ears, set them down. Last time, lift up, pause, soften them down. Another big inhale. Drop your right hand down, lift the left hand higher, big deep side stretch. Push your body upright. Same thing, other side. Let's do that again, right and left, at your own pace, feeling free to make this bigger, smaller, faster or slower. And then set the hands back down on your lap. Reach the ears a little higher. From here, I do want us to take a nice little hinge forward. Notice if you're jetting your chin, can we drop it down? Think about lengthening through the spine here. Reach your hands down out in front of you. Take a big inhale and exhale, forward fold over your lap. Now you might be a little closer to the ground, a little higher up. It's okay. To get that deeper stretch to the back of the body, almost think about caving the chest in, pulling your shoulders towards one another, really rounding the back, tucking the tail. Lightly push down into your palms, slowly start to roll yourself all the way up to a nice tall seat. Take a big inhale, drop the chin to chest. This time begin to forward fold around, reaching your hands out. You might crawl them away from you. Forearms can come down to the ground if that feels good. Forehead could even touch the mat if that feels best in your body. Now this time, instead of rolling up, I want you to lift the chest, lift the head, and flatten out the back. You might push into the ground with your palms, pulling your navel in, separating the shoulders, and then slowly rise up. So let's take that circular action a few times. A little hinge forward, arms can go with you. Dip the chin around, forward fold, and then roll yourself up. Reverse, chin to chest, roll down, seated forward fold. Flatten out the back, straighten the spine, rise up. Again, take that back and forth. You can go faster or slower than me. This is one of my favorite ways to be kind to my spine, my body. It also feels so good in my hips when I'm seated in a little easy pose, cross-legged position, whatever you want to call it. Last time, little hinge, forward fold, push back to round up, and then chin to chest, forward fold. flat back. Rise up, pause. Again, stretch the hands high overhead. Take a big, deep stretch. Exhale, side body stretch right. Inhale, come on up. Side body stretch left. Inhale, come on up. Bring the hands back behind you. Set the feet in front of you. They can be a little bit wider than your hips, maybe even wider than the mat, but just windshield wiper the knees side to side. Now this can look deeper than mine. You might look a little more shallow. It's okay. The next time that you rock the hips or the knees over to the left, keep them there and focus on your right glute. Think about squeezing where your thigh butt connects, and pushing the front of your right hip a little further forward, almost like someone's hand is on the back of your tushy, kind of helping to guide that stretch deeper. Take a big inhale and then let that go. Same thing, other side. Rock to the other side. Start to think about the thigh butt connection point on your left side. Give it an extra little squeeze and a push of the hips, the pelvis forward. Return to center. Open the legs out in front of you. Again, this is not a giant straddle, but it is wider than your hips, maybe about as wide as the mat. If there's a bend, of course, that's okay. Inhale, stretch the hands up. Again, let the shoulders rise, soften them down. As you lift and lower the shoulders, actively flex your feet. See if you can sit a little taller, a little straighter. Soften the shoulders down, pause. Take a big, deep inhale. As you exhale, twist towards your right leg. Right hand back, left hand forward. Unravel. Exhale, twist to your left leg. Unravel. Bring the hands behind the head, elbows nice and wide. Poke the elbows back behind you. Wrap the tummy in. Turn and look towards your right foot. It's like your heart, your sternum is pointing towards the right foot. Take a big inhale. Can we find a little hinge towards that leg? Now, keeping the hands behind the head can help open up the chest. That might feel too much on our low back early in the day, and you can set those hands down in front of you if you want. Similar to what we did a moment ago, you might reach out a little further and then eventually forward fold, dropping the chin, rounding the back, tucking the tail. Curl your hands closer to your inner thigh, roll yourself up. Again, big inhale, stretch the hands high. Exhale, twist to your left leg. Inhale, unravel. Exhale, twist to your right. Unravel, both hands behind the head, elbows open wide. Find that beautiful space across the front of your chest. Turn towards your left leg. Almost push your head into your hands into your head. Soften the shoulders as you hinge forward. And again, you can keep your hands up if you want to. Eventually, we will set them down. With every exhale you take, you might deepen the hinge towards the leg, eventually finding a forward fold. Feel free to stay a little longer, but slowly bring the hands closer to the lap. Roll yourself up. Walk the feet in. And can you give yourself a little hug? I like to hug around my legs. If you can't actually reach for your hands, that's perfectly fine. You can hold your shins or the back of your thighs. We all are built differently. We've all got different range of motion to play with. But holding here, I want to tuck my chin into my chest, round my back, and really tuck my pubic bone up to the belly button so I can find that deeper stretch for my lower back. Now, feel free to skip this if it does not resonate with you. I would make sure you are closer towards the front edge of your mat. But one of my favorite things to do for my spine, for my back, first thing in the morning, is simply a little rock and roll. And you can use your breath here. I like a nice inhale on the way back and exhale on the way up. Inhale on the way back, exhale on the way up. Feel as silly as you need to. If possible, you're going to rock and roll yourself into a forward fold. So I'm going to rock back and roll all the way up into my forward fold, separating my feet about hip distance. Feel free to skip that and just arrive in a forward fold. Once you are in your forward fold, let your head be heavy. Arms can touch the floor, the thighs, the shins, whatever works better, or you could even have some blocks here if you want. But move through the hips. Figure 8 your sitting bones. Look through the legs. Let the head dangle, almost like it's a little anchor, pulling your chest, your spine down. Make sure you circle those hips in both directions. That second direction of your figure 8 might feel real wonky. Slow that down. Open your feet about as wide as the mat. All 10 toes pointing forward right now. Deeply bend the knees. straighten the legs. As you bend and straighten, think about rounding the back more, tucking the chin into the chest. As you straighten, you might think about pointing your sitting bones up to the sky. Now hold. Go ahead and turn all 10 toes out. And again, deeply bend the knees and straighten. You might notice with our legs externally rotated or parallel, you'll have more or less range of motion. I have way more range of motion with my legs externally rotated. You do not have to look like me. That's A-okay. Slow that down. Point all 10 toes back to center and then walk them in line with your hips. Soften the knees. Bring your hands to your shins or your thighs. 3 times, push your head, your chest forward. Exhale, soften down. Inhale, push the head, the chest forward. Inhale, soften down. Last time, little half lift, pause. Take a big deep breath. Forward fold, set the hands on the floor. Can you step your left foot back, finding a low lunge? If this does not suit us, you could take your hands to your thighs and that would be perfectly fine. Feel free to adjust the feet, and a few times I simply want us to rock our weight forward and back, maybe getting an extra stretch through the back of your left calf. Now again, everyone's different. You don't have to take it in the same speed or as deeply as I do, but eventually I slow myself down. I walk my hands a little closer to my hips, and a few times I'm going to straighten and bend my front leg. Your front leg absolutely does not have to fully straighten. Now you might keep your head, your chest kind of lifted like I am now, or if you want a deeper range of motion, you might drop your forehead towards the knee and then lengthen. You of course do not have to do that. Last time. Now rebend the knee, pause. Bring the hands closer to the foot, set the knee down if possible. I always untuck my toe to remove pressure from my knee, and maybe take a big, deep twist. If it does not feel comfortable to lift the hand up, you could set it on the thigh and twist. You might just turn your nose. We have many options for us. Take a big breath. As you exhale, squeeze your thigh-butt connection point on your left leg harder and push the hips a little further forward, just like we did in that windshield wiper earlier. Set the hand back on the floor, tuck the toe, lift the knee, and take a big step forward. That does not have to be graceful. Again, let's figure 8 our hips. Give yourself a little movement, a little wiggle. Slow that down. Rebend both knees, step the right foot back, settle into your variation of your low lunge. We'll rock forward, rock it back a few times. Slowing that down, holding there for a moment, and then again you might walk the hands a little closer to your hips, and a few times we might forward fold or kind of bend and straighten the front leg. Head and chest can continue to point straight forward if that feels better. Or we might round forward and rebend. Slow that down, walk the hands closer to your foot, drop the knee, untuck the toe, or keep it tucked if that feels better. Make sure there's no pressure on the knee. Begin to find your twist. Remember, hand can stay on your lap. It could stay down and you can just turn your head. You might extend the arm up to the sky. Where your thigh butt connects, give it an extra squeeze and push the hips a little further forward, broadening. Take a big deep breath. Set the hand down, tuck the toe, lift the knee, take a big inhale and step forward. Now once more, we'll sway the hips a little side to side, and from here, heel toe the feet towards one another. Your big toes might touch. And I want us to take our right foot and see if we can step it behind. It might be directly behind. It might be a little bit just in the same direction as your right hip, but further behind, or you might be able to cross it. Not everyone can, it's a-okay. Holding here though, I like to push my hips right and left. Now I'm okay if you look down, but I do want you to keep the jaw, the neck relaxed, or you might look towards your thighs, rounding the back. We might even rock our weight into our toes and back into our heels. Slow that down, unravel the first leg, and then same thing other side. You can step the foot back. You could bring it right behind the heel. You might step it to the outside edge of the foot. And again, at first I just sway my hips a little right and left. And then rock my weight forward and back. Unraveling both feet, separate them hip distance, bend the knees, drop. Grab your elbows and take a little sway, a little ragdoll. Slow that down when you're ready. Release the fingers, roll yourself up to standing and pause. Taking a moment to arrive on your mat, standing for the first time. Eyes opened or closed, squeeze your thigh-butt connection point, pull your inner thighs together. Feel grounded down through your feet. Imagine your ears rising up to the sky. Take a great big inhale, stretch the hands up overhead. Imagine you're a little kid reaching for the monkey bars. Find that big, deep, beautiful stretch from your feet on the floor through the body out the fingers. You can wiggle the fingers. Take a great big breath. Exhale, hands behind the head, elbows wide, eyes open or closed. A soft bend in the knee and a little twist right and left. Slow that down. Release the hands down, close the eyes once more. Pause, checking in. Take a great big inhale through the nose. Audible sigh out the mouth. Again, full big inhale. Let it go. One more time. And release. Seal the lips together, breathe through the nose. Take a moment to appreciate all your body has done so far today. And when you're ready, flutter the eyes open. As always, my friends, pat yourself on the back. Thank yourself for doing something so good and just for you. I certainly hope you enjoyed class. I cannot wait to see you again.